Hello and welcome to part 14 of the USS Arizona build, the 1/200 scale by Trumpeter. And in this part we are at putting all the pieces on the top of the deck here. As you can see, all the little boxes and pieces are going on. So there's lots of pieces we've got to put on here now. These are all stuck down. I'm not going to put the guns on. I'll leave them till later. Same with the boats that'll go here. As you see in instructions, part 38, step 38, there's a lot of little hatchways and bits and pieces to go on here. I've undercoated them yesterday and I've just base coated them 5 minutes ago. So I'll give them a few hours to dry, and then I'll be putting those in their spots on here. I will continue finding any little pieces, like there's some photo etch bits that cover some of these hatchways. I think there's some stairways in here that may need some railing put around them. Little bits that I may need to hand paint, just touch up. So I'll work on this. The hull is, as you saw in the previous video, is all hull painted red now. I've put a good couple of nice coats of that on. I'm going to let that dry. That was yesterday I painted that. I'm going to let that dry all day today, and then tomorrow I'll be taping that up and doing the final intermediate blue for the ship and the deck. That'll all get done tomorrow. Yeah, so I'll press on with this. I also did just grab this. Let's have a look here. Lots of bits and pieces. I've got to be careful how I handle this. So I've put in the photo etch. You can see that where the signal flags go on either side. They're in their spot. There's also some hose reels. See those in there? Put them in. And that's pretty much completed now. I'm going to just go through the other little structures around that may need those hose reels and bits and pieces put on. But other than that, it's all going quite well, and we'll come back and have a look at what progress I'll be up to. We'll be back in a second. Okay, welcome back. I thought I'd show you a little bit of some of this small photo etch that I have to install on the decking here. Just show you here, there's these little hatchways, which I'm thinking are stairways that go to the lower deck. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And they all have covers, and these are the pieces, kit pieces, little pieces there. And what I have to do is a little photo etch bit that goes on top of that. So on the photo etch sheet we have, I'll show this properly. So these are all the hatches. I only need 6 on this section. Obviously there'll be more on the rest of the deck later, but they're 2-in-1 pieces, so they fold in half. But also on top of those are these little pieces here, which are almost, see them, there you go, there. So those pieces there sit on top of the hatch. So what I've done is I taken, look at one that I've done here, very tiny. So there's one there that I did. If I can get that angled right. Let's see. Yeah, so it's got that little piece on the top of it. It's just glued on. And then that, there's 6 of them there. Those will get glued on top of these. Now, because these had the original plastic latches on there, I had to sand that flat. So what I did was I had these little sanding sticks. What I do is I just put them down, and then I just run it upside down like this and just sand it flat. Alright. And then I'll be able to glue the photo etch piece. Should be able to be quite easily glued onto the top like that. Anyway, it will go there. Another good reason for wax pencils, easy to pick things up and put them on. So that'll get glued onto there, and then that piece will get painted. So, and then of course it will bring this across. I won't do it with that on there, but that piece of photo etch will then, for example, just sit on top of there like that. Now, there is the option of having one of these open if I wanted, so I could have it actually angled up with the pieces down, these braces holding it up. I might do that, just give it a bit better effect rather than having them all closed. Yeah, but those are where the stairways go down to the lower deck. Right, so I'll keep working on these. I'll only do the ones I need for this deck, and then I'll move on to something else. Although it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do the whole lot that I need for the entire ship deck, just so that they're all done. I might do that too. Okay, we're back soon. Okay, welcome back. I thought I'd just show you a bit of an issue that I've come across here. So I've been putting all the pieces on the deck here, and it's all been going well. Until I got to these pieces here, which have a little bit of photo etch on the top. Now, there's a few of these that go around on the deck here, but in particular, there's one that goes here, and it's situated directly under where one of the life raft racks go. And if you put that life rack where it's supposed to go, it's not going to fit. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to cut the metal just either side of here so that I can leave enough gap so that that can sit underneath. Now, what happened too was that's on the captain's lifeboat rack. The other lifeboats have a similar situation. Well, this one anyway. So next to it go two of the bigger lifeboats, and one of them is this one, this rack here, which will go here. Now, if you can see this, move it here a bit more, that goes in like that, and it fits in there fine between all the little pieces. Like that. There you go. But as you see, there's also another one of those underneath that one as well. So to get that to fit under there, I had to, now, unfortunately, if you can see this, I cut one little edge off, and I meant to cut a gap in that whole bar across there. But unfortunately, when I clipped that, the other end became unglued and pinged off into the carpet somewhere. And it's one of those rare pieces that I actually haven't been able to find that's happened to me like that. Mainly because my carpet is the same colour. I've got the same looking greyish colour that this is. Now I watched it go off. I watched it go off to my right, and then out of my vision. So it obviously just missed the table here and it's hit the floor. I will have another look later, but either way, it's going to sit in there. It's impossible to. It's really going to be hard to see because it's on the inside of it. So I'm not too concerned. But there's just something to be aware of, that those don't fit underneath the MK1 metal etch racks. So you'll have to make a few little adjustments and cut them out to make sure that they do fit. Otherwise, everything's going on really nicely. All these are on. Everything is just about on the deck there now. I'm going to continue finishing this one here. I'll just trim that off, making sure nothing goes off into the carpet monster, and I'll just continue on. But I thought I'd just jump in and show you that yeah, those two pieces don't fit. Everything else was fine. Okay, back shortly. Okay, welcome back. As you can see, I've got the hull painted up nicely here. Sorry it doesn't look very red, but that is hull red. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to tape where that masking tape is the black waterline there, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run some tape along that line and cover the bottom hull. Probably use some newspaper to help. I'm not sure yet. But otherwise, I'll just tape there down, and then I'll be able to start painting the intermediate blue on the side and the top of the ship. Done today. So, yeah. Crossing my fingers that this tape doesn't rip up any of the hull colour, which is why I was thinking of using some newspaper. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm confident. Okay, back shortly. Okay, so I've started painting the sides of the ship and the top of the ship in the intermediate blue that I've painted all the other parts. And what happened was if you watched the previous video, you'd know that I'd run out of the paint I needed. So I went to the hobby store on the weekend and picked up 2 jars of the same Mr. Hobby paint. I'll throw a couple of pictures up on here and you'll see there's the 2 jars that I was using. But unfortunately, the ones I picked up at the hobby shop, even though they were the same reference number for the paint code, when I got home, well, I didn't check, but when I checked now, when I decided I needed to start using it because I'd run out, it's a completely different colour. As you can see, these are two examples in these photographs of what they look like. Completely different colours. I don't know what's happened. Apparently there's a new label on one, an old label on the other, but they are definitely the same paint. I don't know whether it's produced in a different factory or a different batch or what happened, but there's quite a substantial difference. So I had to go back to my local hobby store, took these with me, and crossed my fingers that I could get the original two that I had of the old label from where I bought them. Unfortunately, they didn't have any left. I must have bought the last two when I did. And so we spent an hour in the shop going through, trying to mix and match paints to get the colour that I need. It turns out that it's, as you can see in these two photos I'll put up, I needed violet and blue. The violet and blue mixed 1 to 1, come up with as close as we could get to the Mr. Hobby original paint that I had. I tried SMS paints, couldn't get anything to match. I tried the other Tamiya paints, couldn't find anything, because there's that blue tinge through the grey, and it turns out that the guy there's a bit of a expert on mixing paints, and he managed to come up with the closest colour, as you can see. So yeah, bit of a drama, bit of a half day spent chasing paint, but I did it. I finally got the paint, finished the painting. It's drying now. We'll have a look at it shortly. In the meantime, I've been doing the props here in gold. I primed them up yesterday, and I'm going to put another gold coat on them, and that'll be done. And yeah, so anyway, the next shot I'll bring out the hole and we'll have a look at it, because I need to take off all the masking tape. It was covering the any overspray from to go on the whole red. So anyway, I'll bring that out and we'll have a look at it. Okay, welcome back. And as you can see, got the ship here. Painting's done. Looks patchy on the deck, but that's because I only needed to cover the parts that'll stick through the wood deck that's going to go over the top. So no need to do a thick layer. Just going to carefully put this over to its side here. Look at the hull, which is beautiful. The whole red is certainly not the usual red, but still it came up nice. I managed to take the tape off and it came off beautifully. The only thing left, and I have to be careful, is because the intermediate blue, or should I say my special mix of blue, is still drying. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to peel off the tape that will reveal the black waterline around the outside. And I'll do this very carefully. As you can imagine, it's been on there for a few days, so I do hope that it will be a nice result. We'll see. Absolutely perfect. I am so relieved. Okay. That. She is. Nice. All right. So, what I will probably be doing next is putting a clear coat over everything. Well, I just need to check a bit of research on that, whether that's a good idea or not. Because I need to stick down the wood deck on either side here, and whether it would stick better when glued onto a clear coat, or whether it would stick better gluing straight onto here. I'm not sure. Normally with the wood grain decks, when they have the stickiness underneath, and they already come like that, it's best to put them straight onto a clear coat. It just creates a smoother surface for it to stick down on. But using wood glue, like I am, and putting the deck down, I don't really know if it's going to matter. And even with the wood deck on there, it's going to need to be clear coated as well, for when I decide to do some weathering of the deck as well. Yeah, I'll check on that. But anyway, there we go. So I'm very happy with that. They come up really nice, and yep, we'll move onward and forward to more of this build. And actually, I think we'll call this this is a finished video. The next video will continue on from where we left off here, and see how it goes. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notifications bell there and get notified when the videos come out. These are coming out every couple of days, 2-3 days now, released. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and suggestions, comments, opinions, whatever you want to put down there in the comments, you're welcome to. And I'll see you in the next part. Bye for now.